Hi, welcome to Post Credits Café with Lauren. I'm Lauren, and today is the second solo episode that I will be doing for this show. I will be going over the upcoming movie releases that are giving me a will to live. I sat down today, Wednesday at 1 p.m. in the afternoon. My unemployed self typed in movies showing near me, and there was not much. So it got me thinking, let me make a quick list of things to look forward to that give me the will to live. Because in this life, movies, they fuel me. They give me the will to live. They nourish me. They educate me. They make me laugh. They make me cry. That's why movies are so special. Anyways, today's beverage of choice, as I said in the last solo episodes, we go straight up caffeine, straight up black coffee. This is an americano. I want to deliver my most concise thoughts to you on these solo pods, so I need the caffeine directed directly straight into my veins. No fluff, no fun. Okay? We're getting down to business. This is like a meeting. We're getting down. Cheers. Yeah, it's good. What can I say? I can make a good cup of joe. Let's start. The first movie that I am most anticipating. Literally, I was anticipating this movie the second the first one ended. And I just prayed to God that they were going to make a second one. And that is Godzilla Minus Zero. Okay? Directed by Takashi Yamazaki. He also made Godzilla Minus One. That is my favorite movie of all time. I think I've seen it in theaters with my brother about 5 times. It is a behemoth of a movie, and the way they did it on such a minimal budget, that's heart. This one takes place in 1949, 2 years after the events of Godzilla Minus One, and it follows the Shikishima family as they face a new calamity. That is the gist. It's premiering at the Tokyo International Film Festival, and if I could get accreditation to that festival as a member of press, I swear to God, I will buy the ticket to Tokyo just to see the premiere of this, the world premiere. That's how serious it is, guys. Some of you wouldn't get it. I get it. Also, I'm going to do this not necessarily in order, but the first few are going to be my most anticipated, and then I'll touch on the ones that are like anticipating, but not most. Well, today is July 1st, and this one is releasing in about 2.5 weeks. The Odyssey. Yes, directed by Christopher Nolan, starring Tom Holland, Zendaya, Lupita Nyong'o, who's the one guy from Boston, Matt Damon, yes, and just a bunch of other people, apparently Travis Scott. Okay, sure. Anne Hathaway. Anne Hathaway has been in 18 movies this past year. She's working. She's crazy. In preparation of the movie, I'm actually reading the book, The Odyssey. And as someone who grew up on Greek mythology, like inject that into my veins. I read every single Percy Jackson book. I read all the adapted retelling novels, Circe, Song of Achilles. But I realized I never read the ancient text. I never read Homer's The Odyssey. And there's a reason it has stood the test of time since BC, the BC era, because this is one of the best books I've ever read in my entire life, and I've read a lot of books. Just fantastic. It follows Odysseus as he makes his way back to his home in Ithaca, to his wife Penelope and Telemachus. Those will be played by Anne Hathaway and Tom Holland, respectfully. Just his odyssey of coming home. Was the Odyssey named after Odysseus, or was the word Odyssey named after Odysseus, or is Odysseus named after an Odyssey? Let me know. My God, I'm so excited. I am so excited. Next one. This one actually comes out in 2 days as I'm making this video. Rose of Nevada. Oh, and I already have my tickets to see it on Monday with my friend Nat. Yes. This one, I've been anticipating it for a while. I think it premiered at TIFF, I want to say, in October of last year. Directed by Mark Jenkins. It stars Callum Turner and George McKay. Callum Turner, congratulations on the wedding with Miss Dua Lipa. I kind of was anticipating this solely because of Callum Turner and George McKay, because I do love them down. Those are my boys. But then I read the synopsis and I was like, wait, this is like a sci-fi. What happens is a boat returns to shore after 30 years of it vanishing, and these two men, they hop on board. Hop on board, we'll go slow and high tempo. They hop on board hoping for fortunes, for a better life. And something happens and they go back in time and they are mistaken for the original crew. What's going to happen? I don't know. I'm sad. I'm very, very much so anticipating this on Monday. What do y'all know about May Thy Knife Chip and Shatter? Whatever. Dune Part 3, directed by Denis Villeneuve. What can I say? Last time I watched Dune 2 a few months ago, I started sobbing in the middle of it simply because it was just a feat of filmmaking. I probably started crying because I was experiencing heavy Zoloft withdrawals. But that being said, like, it doesn't matter. Like, cinema, like, it's the perfect movie, Dune 2. That being said, Dune 3 is just a direct continuation of it. Where we left off, Paul Atreides, played by Timothée Chalamet, he started a goddamn holy war, and all the houses are going to come together and just have a war. I'm literally already sad. Like, the version of me you're seeing right now is not even, it's a figment of your imagination, because my real body is sat in the AMC theater ready to salute Nicole Kidman and watch Dune 3. I have my Sour Patch Kids and my 80-ounce small Diet Coke in the cup holder ready to go. And yes, the last one on my most anticipated list, the ones that are really getting me through the year, is The Hunger Games: Sunrise on the Reaping. Yes, directed by Francis Lawrence. This is basically the story of the second quarter quell, the 50th anniversary of the Hunger Games. It is 24 years before the first events of the Hunger Games, and it follows Haymitch. Yes, Haymitch. Young Haymitch and his love. I don't know. I haven't read the book. The cast alone: Jesse Plemons, Elle Fanning, Maya Hawke, Kieran Culkin, Glenn Close. Like, the list goes on. I just love dystopian stuff. I don't know why. I always have been drawn to dystopian stuff. Maybe it is the imbuing of, like, romance and, like, pure humanity into this, like, kind of incomprehensible world that these characters are living in. But then again, is it really incomprehensible? Because I think we are going in that direction, if you will. But I digress. Yeah, just really excited for this one. Okay, the next move. You know what? I'm kind of really anticipating all of these, like, heavily. How to Rob a Bank, directed by David Leitch, starring Nicholas Hoult, Zoe Kravitz, Pete Davidson. I saw a trailer for it the other day and I was like, let me add that to my watch list, because this looks epic and fun. It just looks fun, and sometimes movies have to be fun. And, you know, I'm sat for anything Zoe Kravitz is in. Nicholas Hoult, Minutemen. Who watched Minutemen on Disney Channel? Because that is the first thing I ever saw him in. Oh, that and Sky High. And I was obsessed with those movies. So, like, I've always been a fan of Nicholas Hoult. And, hey, so that's the wrong Nicholas. I was thinking Nicholas Braun. The one in Succession I was thinking of. Nicholas Hoult is another one, and he is very good. He's very good. I really like him. But you know what? Zoe Kravitz, Pete Davidson, I think it's going to be a fun time. John C. Reilly is in it. Next movie is Sender, directed by Russell Goldman. It stars Britt Lower and Rhea Seehorn. And if you know, those are our television drama Emmy-winning girls. We have Britt Lower in Severance, Rhea Seehorn in Pluribus, Better Call Saul. They are two of my favorite working actors today. This one follows a woman played by Britt Lower who is receiving these mysterious packages by an unknown sender, and they contain deeply personal information, and she just spirals trying to figure out who this is sending her these packages and letters. It intrigues me. I'm intrigued. I'm so ready for this one as well. I saw the trailer the other day. Hope, directed by Na Hong Jin. It stars Taylor Russell, Hoyeon, Hwang Jung-min, Michael Fassbender, Alicia Vikander. It has a very random and delectable cast. I missed this one at Cannes. People seemed very divisive over it. They either loved it or hated it. Listen, a lot of the dialogue was, oh my God, like, for 3 hours, the CGI was terrible, and it was just like a 1.5 hour chase scene. Hey, sometimes you got to go to the movies, take a seat, and just and just submit to it. Just submit to the bad CGI and everything. If it feels like a movie, maybe that's what we need. We just need movies to feel like movies. Maybe there doesn't need to be some deeper conversation in all of them, you know? It takes place on a remote South Korean village where there are instances of some mysterious creature lurking around, and two police come in and they try to get to the bottom of things. I don't know. I saw in the trailer Hoyun getting out of a cop car, arming a large firearm, and it was really hot. I'll be sad for her. And, you know, if I don't get anything out of the movie and I end up hating the movie, which I really don't think I will, at least we got her. You know, what else? Oh yeah, this is Na Hong-jin. He directed The Wailing, one of the most unsettling movies I've ever watched in my life. South Korean horror / thriller movies, they really do it like no other. That and like Japanese horror. Next up, we have Tony, directed by Matt Johnson. I don't know. Every time I hear the name Tony, I just wanna become like a soprano. I wanna come Tony Soprano. That's why. Tony. This one is a biopic of Anthony Bourdain, except I think it only follows him like throughout a single like small moment of his life, small period in time. It's not like a whole biopic. Okay, I'm reading the synopsis. It follows so young, 19-year-old Anthony Bourdain as he travels to Provincetown and he stumbles into the chaotic world of culinary excellence and just food. It stars Dominic Sessa. I love seeing him get roles. He's just so impeccable. Matt Johnson, I really trust his vision. I really do. He's funny. He made Blackberry so he could direct serious. And you know, I'm intrigued. I love Anthony Bourdain. May he rest in peace, truly. Like, that man was a light. He really just, every time I get too inside my head or too comfortable being in a single place or too comfortable in terms of what I'm creating or something, I always watch like an Anthony Bourdain video, because his main message was like, see as much as possible. Because when you see as much as possible, that is the only way you can truly like be human, and that is the only way you can create good art. And when you have all these experiences in your belt, I really love him. And may he rest in peace. Tony. The Wait, directed by Padraig, I think is how you say it, McKinley. It stars Ethan Hawke. Takes place in 1933 Oregon, and this man, he is sent to a work camp and is separated from his daughter, and one of the workers proposes that he will help him escape if he helps him smuggle gold through the wilderness. And I don't know, there's something about, like, I hate, and I've said this before, unfortunately, to period piece lovers, I really despise kind of an early 1900s, mid 1900s even, until we get to maybe like the 60s, period piece. I do not like them, but I do love the story and the history of the American gold rush. I think it was so cool. They were finding gold? What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh, my job is to search for gold. That's cool as fuck. As a kid growing up, I always like also looked for gold, even though I don't know why I thought I would find any. I really like gems and rocks and gold and stuff like that. So, but Ethan Hawke, you know, I love the man. I wish he would adopt me. Another one I missed at the Cannes Film Festival, Teenage Sex and Death at Camp Miasma. Yes, and I think, knock on wood, this isn't even real wood, I think I'm going to be going to the New York premiere in early August to see this. If I'm being honest, I'm really only excited for this because it stars Hannah Einbinder and Gillian Anderson, and it's like, oh, okay. I was not a fan. I actually really despised I Saw the TV Glow. No hate, Jane. It is a very A24 movie, and this one seems to be as well, in terms of like, it's very DIY looking on parts of it, and it's very magical. It's very, very magical, like surrealism, like weird dimensions and goo and goop and lights. You know what I'm saying? Those of you who get it will get it. Sometimes A24, it's just like, your merch is awesome, give me your merch, you know? Your movies sometimes are meh. That being said, the premise does seem kind of cool. It follows a young director who is given an old slasher franchise called Camp Miasma, and she is told to revive it with a more current lens. I'm assuming a lot of like death and sex and stuff is gonna happen at Camp Miasma. That's what I'm thinking. Speaking of A24 as well, The Invite, directed by Olivia Wilde, starring Seth Rogen, Penelope Cruz, Olivia Wilde, and Edward Norton. So a couple is going through a tumultuous time. They invite their neighbors to just like a chill hangout, a chill like dinner, wine night, and then things get a little crazy. That's what it seems. Early reviews are in saying it's brilliant. I think it releases this weekend. Oh my God, maybe I'm going to see it this weekend. Hell yeah. Next movie is called Cookie Queens, directed by Alyssa Namias. It is a documentary and it premiered at Sundance, I believe. It's been on my list ever since. It follows the coming of age stories of Girl Scouts and the joys and the tensions and the chaos that exists within that world. I was never a Girl Scout. I liked the sash part. I thought it looked cool, but I didn't like the actual having to hang out with like the girls in my school who are really mean and annoying and bratty. So I collected Pokemon cards instead and sat on the playground with the only other girl who collected Pokemon cards, and we traded and had an awesome time. But yeah, I love a documentary. Give me literally any documentary to watch and I'll watch it. Any obscure topic. It doesn't even have to be a documentary. 4-hour video essay on YouTube. Yeah. I recently found out about this movie called Late Fame, directed by Kent Jones. Stars Willem Dafoe, Greta Lee. Willem Dafoe and Greta Lee, like that's all I need to know that I'm going to probably really like this. It follows this legendary New York poet who his works get a bit of a revival amongst a younger generation, and it inspires him to get back into writing poetry. Except there is this actress who she has a very bad bewitching presence, and that's kind of the synopsis. I don't know what it's about. That doesn't give us much. I do love movies about that are meta, like about creating art. This seems like one of them. I love movies about writing because I also enjoy writing. When you see yourself in the movies, there's just nothing like it, you know, because that's what movies are for, to see yourself on screen. And if you don't see yourself on screen, then to be able to put yourself in the shoes of someone else and see from other perspectives that are not your own. Yes. Okay, back to my boy Nicholas Braun. Yes, he is in this next one called Idiots, directed by Macon Blair. Dave Franco is also in it. O'Shea Jackson Jr. O'Shea Jackson Jr. Kiernan Shipka. It follows two guys who are given the task of transporting a rich teenager to rehab, but things go off the rails and a lot of mayhem ensues. It looks like just a fun time. See it with some friends. Sneak some soju into that movie theater, pour it in your icy, pour it into your 80-ounce Diet Coke. Have a fun time. Enjoy. This next one is called Life Hack. It is directed by Ronan Corrigan. I believe it is from the UK. It is a crime and thriller. I forgot where it premiered, but it's been on my list for quite a while. It might even be out digitally in the UK, but it hasn't gotten an American release yet, or if it has, it's just in very, very few select theaters. It follows 4 teenage hackers who try to pull off a multi-million-dollar Bitcoin heist, and they end up finding themselves on the scariest parts of the internet. It looks right up my alley. I love things that have that are crime. I love crime movies, and I've recently been getting a lot more into thrillers. I like it. I like movies that get you thinking. I don't know if this will get me thinking, but if it does, cherry on top. This next movie, directed by Peter Farrelly, is called I Play Rocky, and it is the story about how the movie Rocky was made. What was I just saying about how I love movies about creating art, especially movies about making movies? This one. It's about a struggling actor with a partially paralyzed face who writes this amazing script, Rocky. He'll only sell it to the studios if he is able to play the lead. They say no, but we'll give you these big bucks. And he says no, because I want to be the lead, and you're not going to let me be the lead. So he makes it with pennies. The pennies in his pocket and a close-knit group of friends. I guess they make Rocky. I guess. Stack cast Anthony Ippolito, who looks just like a young Sylvester Stallone. It's kind of frightening. Matt Dillon, Anna Sophia Robb, Tracy Letts is also in it. Found out that this was a movie that exists while going through the AMC Coming Soon tab on the app. I'd be remiss if I did not mention The Social Reckoning, directed by Aaron Sorkin. Does the trailer look good? No. Do the posters look good? No. They look a little corny, okay? However, we do have Jeremy Allen White, you know? We have Mikey Madison, my girl. We have Jeremy Strong, you know? We have a very good cast who I trust will do well in their roles. However, I don't know why everyone's hating on the fact that Aaron Sorkin is directing this one, because he wrote The Social Network. The Social Reckoning is the sequel to The Social Network, aka one of the best films to ever exist. And Aaron Sorkin wrote that screenplay, and it is one of the best screenplays ever. So I don't know why everyone's hating on the fact that he's directing. I don't know what he's directed in the past. Oh, he directed Molly's Game, another one of my favorite movies ever about crime and stealing. So, you know what? I trust him. I trust him. I trust you, Aaron. And if you do me wrong, I'll be sad. Yes, I will. I think it's pretty much about the whistleblowing of the fact that Facebook is an immoral and horrible company, and Mark Zuckerberg is a scary robot who has no morals and just likes money. Of course I have to see it. Of course I have to see it. Social Network is one of my favorite movies ever. And you know what? If I hate this one, like, it's not like I'll conflate the two together. I know the separation. And in fact, if I hate it so much, I'll probably just go home and watch The Social Network starring Jesse Eisenberg and Andrew Garfield and Brenda Song. Well, those are pretty much the movies that are giving me the will to live these days. I really like doing these solo podcasts. I do have a couple upcoming guests that I'm super, super excited about. We're just waiting on conducting the interviews closer to dates that align with their schedule and projects that they are releasing. Very grateful to have this little outlet, this little podcast, this little awesome show. I will see you guys on the next episode. With that being said, have yourself a cup of... Get yourself a cup of joe. Get yourself a cup of coffee, a latte, a cappuccino, a tea. Enjoy the rest of your day or evening.